Thank you.
And game 1 of 4 starting off for the continuation of the 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament. Spencer Thompson bringing the action to you. Austin Ray will be with us shortly. The Chattanooga State Tigers facing off against the Motlow State Bucks here in the losers bracket second round. The Bucks eliminated the Cleveland State Cougars yesterday, and the Motlow State Bucks were eliminated by the Green Jays Monday night. And the Tigers got here by losing to the Walters State Senators 17-9. Loser goes home here. Winner goes on to the semifinal of the losers bracket against either Dyersburg State or Columbia State. The Eagles having a loss last night of 11-7 against the Green Jays, and the Green Jays have moved on to the winners final for a chance to play in the tournament championship on Thursday at 4 o'clock. But that Senators Green Jays game starting at 4:30 today. We'll have every one of the games today at 1 o'clock. The Eagles and the Chargers face off in the second quarterfinal or second round game of the losers bracket. And then at 7:30, the winner of this game and the next one will face off for a slot in the losers bracket final. which determines who will face off in the championship against either the Senators or the Green Jays. 3-1 count. Bucks designated the home team here, so the Tigers lead off. And it's Chile up to bat. And their stats have been updated since their Walter State loss. Chile with a 349 average and 440 slugging. Struck out 36 times. And stat lines for Chattanooga State, they're 17th in the nation in hits as Chile gets walked. They're 14th in the nation for runs and RBIs. 17th in the nation in strikeouts, and second in the nation in both their batting average and on-base percentage. So surprise for them to be in the losers bracket this early. But facing off against the Senators in the second round just took a big loss, 17-9. And Blue Baugh up next with a runner on first. Tag first.
I've kept all my lineups, paper lineups, and they pretty much match when they hand me the lineups, so there's not much change.
Yeah, right. They don't usually change except for the pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Grounder gets to left field and a base hit safe on first, second. Blue Baugh with a base hit. And Motlow State starts off with a pitcher, Dalton Wilder, who the right-handed sophomore has pitched 48 innings coming into today. The Bucks have also updated their statistics. Wilder with 9 appearances on the mound, a 7.50 ERA. He's allowed 4 home runs, tied for that many allowed with Walters and Foster. And bases loaded now. The Tigers' Delancey gets hit with the pitch. So no outs in the top of the first.
The shortstop, Noah Fitzgerald.
And Fitzgerald with a total of 54 RBIs leads the Tigers. 74 hits with a 711 slugging percentage. Likely to see the Tigers get some RBIs in here from the Conference Player of the Year. Here's the 0-1. Even count.
Oh, yeah. 2 walks and 1 hit.
Hit batsman.
Oh, hits batsman. I didn't
Walk,
see
hit the batsman.
Fitzgerald trying to find his groove here, especially with a 10 a.m. start.
Imagine that shortstop on Jackson State's pretty sore today.
Gets a grounder past the shortstop. That's run 1 for the Tigers, and bases still loaded. Tigers score first early on, no outs.
Now batting number 9, the designated hitter, Jacob Holton.
Holton as the DH has been at bat 139 times. Total of 34 RBIs, 56 hits, 597 in slugging on a 403 average. Has the bases loaded here and no outs. Gets a grounder fair up the first baseline and ruled foul. Holton with 34 RBIs and 3 home runs. Faces the 0-1.
Is the day their last day or
Swing and a miss for 0-2.
It's a day ahead of us.
Okay. So Friday is supposed to be, so tomorrow's their finals.
Yeah, Thursday will be, weather permitting.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to rain
It's
out.
supposed to come in the morning, Mike said.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd like to see
1-2.
the tournament go to the end, and because Walters, the way everybody talks, is not that strong this year. So if
Yeah,
it'll
but
be
they're stronger than most of the teams
Oh,
in
yeah.
the league. They're not as strong as they have been, as they were last year.
yeah, I was talking to Dave Shelton.
Loaded bases. Here's the 1-2.
Because it's so weak,
Yeah, it was this year.
and he said that hurts them.
Even count.
Because when they look at
And Wilder
when they look at the
has allowed 4 home runs and 63 hits out of his 9 times on the mound.
Who's the Cleveland State pitcher? Chattanooga pitcher.
Chattanooga pitcher
Yeah.
is going to be number 12, Jordan Howell.
And
Howell.
pop-up foul.
C-O-W-E-R. What is it, 2-2?
2-2. He fouled that one off.
Okay.
It was 2-2 and he fouled it off.
Here's the even count with bases loaded and no outs.
Crashed last night, so.
Well, I was gonna, I could do it this morning.
3-2.
Well, let's count us.
Yeah?
Holton just trying to find the right pitch here.
We hate to get the first inning in this situation.
Yeah, you don't want to get behind early.
Well, you walk and you hit back, man.
It's a grounder. Right to the shortstop, toss to second and out, toss to first, double play. But a run into home plate, and the Tigers lead it 2-0.
And double play. Guy don't get an RBI either.
To make that RBI number 35 for Holton.
The third baseman,
No
Bass
RBI if it's a
Cooper.
double play.
Cooper up to bat. 560 slugging and 418 average. He's got a runner on third, a chance to get another run here.
Yes, 21.
Who is that?
Bass Cooper.
Cooper?
Yeah, Bass Cooper. Do you want to see their lineup?
No, it wouldn't do me any good. I ain't trying to
2-0.
I'll just get them as you call them off.
Okay.
That's the reason I haven't asked for it because of,
Oh,
that's like, when Greg comes up here.
2-1.
softball does that. You know, I watch softball and you come across and it'll be like a
Second or two.
yeah, and then next thing your arm comes over. I guess Mike still got his hammer up there.
Yeah.
Evened up.
Anybody else is up there watching the game?
That may be him.
Yeah, that might be here. See, it might be him and his dad. His dad's here.
Yeah.
So 2 outs in the top of the first.
Yeah, let's see him. I think it's his dad.
Yeah, it is.
And a
If it's him.
full count of 3-2. Cooper has
About time.
Cooper has been struck out 23 times and faces a full count here.
Yeah, we sent out a
And now a walk to first. Tigers have better scoring chance here. Now bowling up
Now batting number 10,
with
the right fielder,
32 RBIs thus far and 143 at-bats. Again, Wilder with a 7.50 ERA. Allowed 63 hits. That right to the second baseman and end of the batting inning for the Tigers. They strike first early on, 2-0. The Bucks up to bat. Jordan Power, the starting pitcher for the Tigers, with a 4.05 ERA and 31 innings pitched. Struck out 29, walked 23 on 14 appearances, tied for most with Mann and Woody. Faces off against Nathan Sanders, who in his game against the Cleveland State Tigers, Sanders managed to have 2 runs on his 3 at-bats, got 1 strikeout and walked twice. Trying to get out of those same stat lines, if not better, this morning. Faces the 2-0. Strike 1. Evened up. It's the Bucks trying to get a first run. Trying to get themselves up on the scoreboard. All zeros, of course, with it being the first inning. And strikeout for Sanders.
Next batting, number 6, the second baseman, Patrick Music.
Power gives a 1-0 count to Music. Ooh. Music was at bat 4 times against the Cleveland State Cougars in the first round of the losers bracket. Had 4 at bats with 2 runs and 1 hit. total averages out to a 473 slugging. Faces the 1-1. And Patrick Music, with an even count, has been struck out 27 times, and Power looking for his 31st strikeout after managing to send Sanders back to the dugout. Here's the even. And strikeout number 31 for Power, 28 times that Music has been sent back. Now 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Now Austin Ray joins me in the booth for the rest of the 4 games we have covering today, and whoever wins this game goes on to the semifinal of the losers bracket, and the Tigers obviously upset in the winners bracket, trying to make it back up to a potential championship appearance, but they've got a tough challenge ahead of them, with the Motlow Bucks also being one of the other teams that got upset.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes,
It's been that kind of week.
It's been a long week, but yeah, Chattanooga, they had a big upset in their last outing. They played hard against Motlow. So did, not Motlow, Walter State, and Motlow did great going against Jackson State. Both of them played hard, had great pitching, and their hitting was really, really incredible for both teams. It was just kind of sad to see them both lose both of those games when they did really well. So both of them are going to have an opportunity to come back, and they're going to play their hearts out in this one.
Yeah, the loser heads home for Chattanooga, a longer drive back than Motlow. Tigers and Bucks trying to stay alive and get to the semifinal of the losers bracket. The hit goes foul. Hospitality Canopy just does not get a break.
It's okay, neither do we.
Well, we get a break in between games, we get a more extended break tomorrow, assuming the games start on time, with the first pitch at 1 o'clock for the losers bracket semi, and a ruled strikeout. So nobody on base, all zeros for the Bucks heading into the top of the second. Heath. Heath with only his 13th at bat. Currently has a one slugging percentage. Granted, that's because of his 12 appearances and a 750 average. So, not bad to say that you have a perfect slugging average if people don't look at the specific in-depth numbers.
No, it's not, and it just shows that he can really drive a ball if he makes good contact to it.
And
Like that.
there's a drive there to center field. Catch made. Yeah, he can drive it. Just matter of the timing on it.
Next batting, number 19, the first baseman.
Parrott steps up.
Parrott.
Swing and a miss. Parrott with a 301 average gets a piece of that one for the 0-2. And the sophomore trying to get something going here. Has 40 hits and 11 doubles. That one goes outside left. And sends it towards hospitality again. That's already twice today that the canopy is not getting a break. Two and two. One out in the top of the first. And sends it past the bullpen. Now they say in junior college you can't keep the baseballs, but if it goes into somebody's windshield, then there's only so much you can do.
At that point, you do keep the baseball.
Mm-hmm. Keep the baseball, and you have to pay for a new windshield. At least you get a good souvenir out of it. Here's the 2-2. It's a grounder. Easy out for out number 2.
It was actually kind of funny because one of my teammates actually did that in high school and broke one of our own students' windshield with a baseball. We didn't know what to do, and the ball actually went through the windshield. It was actually kind of funny.
Did you just let him drive off with it?
The person was kind of mad, but at the same time, it was the person's fault because they parked way too close to the foul line.
Well, that and yeah, it's. What reason do you have to be mad on that? It's a foul baseball.
Oh,
it's just one of those.
She was just mad. She was just mad because it happened to her.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just one of those one of those things that's a happenstance that you can't really control. 1-1. So Chile with a 349 average leads the team in steals by a long shot with 36 stolen bases and only been caught 4 times. So for every 9 steals, he only gets caught once. Faces the 2-1 here. He's got 39 RBIs and 5 doubles. Gets a piece of that to even out the count. Now even at 2 each. Again, the Tigers and the Bucks trying to stay alive in the tournament. In the losers bracket, both of them taking hard losses. Being upset by the lower seeds, the Eagles and the Green Jays beating them. Now 3-2. Here's the 3-2 for Wilder. And grounder goes to the dugout. Keep in mind that Chattanooga State has one of the, in their slugging percentage, they're 15th in the nation at 523. But of course their batting average as it's set. Second baseman has to stretch up for that one, and that ends the inning for the Tigers batting game. The Bucks trying to respond to the 2 runs in the top of the first.
Tigers. Sam Stoll.
And Sam Storr with a 624 slugging. He's got one of the few of his teammates that has a good design on one of his teammates. As far as I can see with the Bucks, he's one of the only team players with a design on his helmet. He's got camouflage at the front. Faces the 0-1.
He bought his own helmet.
Probably bought his own helmet for that.
I don't think school let him do that.
Faces a 1-1. He's been struck out 40 times, but made up for that with 10 home runs and 10 doubles.
We had helmets, you know, and a lot of the supplies, they give you a duffel bag, and they had bats and balls and
Yeah.
all the supplies. Well, they had helmets in there. There was one mother bought the helmets
It's 2-1.
for her son.
Yes.
Well, they would borrow it, you know, and one kid was on second base, and her son was coming up. He had one of his team helmets. Oh, she went crazy. She came out there, and she was saying, stop, stop, stop. My son needs to have that helmet on. They had to take off.
2-2 count. Great, beautiful morning of 79 degrees here in Columbia. It's hard to imagine that tomorrow morning it's supposed to be pouring rain and the tournament will likely get delayed, even though there's only 2, maximum 3 matches left to go. With the losers bracket final and the actual championship of the tournament. Game 3, if necessary, will scheduled to occur on Friday. As a full count here for Storr. And he gets walked. It's hard to imagine with beautiful weather like this that it's going to be a rain out tomorrow, but
Next batting, number 7.
if that's the case, then
Gunnar
the
Ricketts.
rest of the tournament, I believe they have until a certain deadline on Sunday of when the games need to occur before the championship is given to the regular season winner, which would be Walter State. Even though Even though, of course, the Green Jays are going to get a shot at them today in the winner's bracket final. But I'm sure the rest of the teams here in the loser's bracket are wanting to get another chance at the Senators. And especially Chattanooga State, if they can manage to get out of the loser's bracket, they definitely want another chance against the Senators. And a 1-1 count here for Gunnar Ricketts.
And we got a busted catcher's mitt.
And looks like the catcher's got to get a replacement mitt.
He's throwing too hard. That's what we always say. If he's throwing too hard, it's going to bust.
Flat probably. Leather.
So Ricketts faces the 1-1. So Tigers try to shut out the Bucks for the second inning, and grounder goes foul. And keep in mind how the Bucks got here. They had a first-round bye. That was our first late-night game of two that we've covered with the Bucks, the higher seed against the Green Jays. They had the second homer in the playoffs with C.J. Wright. Jackson State with a powerhouse hitter. Even count. Ricketts gets a grounder to the shortstop, tossed to second, and not in time for the double play. Took a little bit to give the call there, but 1 out so far. Ricketts manages to stay safe on first. And now the Tothan Matthews.
Now batting the number 10, the catcher, Tothan Matthews.
A 261 slugging and 203 average. He's managed to get 14 hits on 69 at-bats coming into today. And Matthews in yesterday's game against the Cougars had 4 at-bats and managed to get 1 hit, but struck out twice. Trying to get a better stat line coming into today, and he faces the 0-2. And Matthews with strike 3. Excuse me, the balk called and advance to second for Ricketts. Still the 0-2. Here's the 0-2. And toss back to second. Safe.
Yeah, well, that was, in that case, nobody moved.
Like in football, you might see a
1 out in the bottom of the second. Toss again to second, and he's out. Second out, not safe on second. And the Tigers coach talking to the umpire to see if he can plead his case. Ricketts still staying on second, and can't plead his case. Now 2 outs. You ever have that in your high school career where the coach pleaded his case and actually got it overturned?
No, but we have had a couple times to where coach tried to plead his case and he got thrown out. So.
Yeah, much more likely to get thrown out for arguing with the judgment call than to get the overturned call. We saw a little bit of that last night with the Green Jays. There was a third strike, and one of the batters had a stare down at the umpire. You walk a thin line whenever you do something like that.
Yep.
A 1-2 count. Evened up.
The reason they called the guy out, Clark. You know that one at bat where the umpire called him out.
Oh,
And had one pitch.
2-2. And struck him out. So that's the end of the second inning. The Bucks not able to get a run. Heading to the top of the third. Blue ball leads off for the top of the third. The .563 slugging. High up for the 1-0. Now 3-0. Blue has been walked 38 times. And make that strike one.
Oh, no, there wasn't. Yeah, there was actually. We got right still. It was 2-2-2. There was another one that last in.
And hit left field. It's set to go foul and makes the sliding catch.
Now batting number 23, the second baseman, Ty Delancey.
Delancey with a 356 average. Faces 0-1. Right behind Noah Fitzgerald for the team lead of RBIs. And with a 1-1 here, has a 457 on base percentage. Gets a grounder. First baseman gets the pickup and out on first.
Next batting number 31, the shortstop, Noah Fitzgerald.
And in the Tigers' loss to Walter State yesterday, Fitzgerald had 5 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 run, and 2 RBIs with 1 strikeout. Had a decent performance in his 5 at-bats yesterday. Not enough to get past the Senators. Faces the 2-0. And grounder right to the shortstop, toss over, and that'll end the inning. Tigers get nobody on base heading to the bottom of the third. 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament, sponsored by Sundrop Bottling, Hampton by Hilton, Lister Hill Credit Union, Alpha Graphics of Franklin, and Fairfield by Marriott.
Number 13,
And
hitter, Zach Wander.
Zach Von Duren as the DH. Yesterday's performance, he had 3 at-bats, walked once, couldn't get anything going. And faces the 0-1 on that swing and a miss. Von Duren's had been struck out 7 times, walked 6. One of those coming from yesterday, and faces the 0-2 here. And a 290 on base percentage out of 52 appearances. Gets a grounder, second baseman picks it up and out.
Now batting number 5, the right fielder, Kobe Oster.
And now Foster, the #1 pitcher for the Bucks, is got a pop up heading to the right side. Catch made. Second out. Now Foster, their ace pitcher, has not been up on the mound since the Green Jays game. Allowed 4 of the 7 runs that the Green Jays got. And 1-1. And attempted bunt goes foul for Xavier Torres, who had a relief hitter come in for him yesterday. Torres, with 3 at-bats, he managed to get 1 run and was left on base once. Faces the 2-1 here. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. And pop up there, and the Bucks are just not able to get anything going. There's a second baseman tossing the first, foul out there, he caught it, 2 outs.
No, this is the second batter.
Third.
This is the second batter.
Swing and a miss, he's out, and that's the end of the 3rd inning.
Oh, okay.
Nobody on base, head into the top of the 4th.
Top of the fourth.
The Tigers trying to get more runs on the board. And Jacob Holton takes the plate.
Yeah, I missed, I can't believe I missed it out.
Well, I was looking down, I had,
Wilder,
that's where I was looking down.
strike.
at the roster, and that's what I missed. I said, what happened there? 'Cause he was just. Oh,
And pop up to the infield. The air time on it. First out.
Next batting number 21, the third baseman.
Now, although in the last 2 1/3 innings, though in the last 2 1/3 they've been, the Tigers have not gotten anything going. The Weilers prevented them from actually getting up on base and getting towards any runs, but they've been popping base hits and pop flies. 0-2. And 1-2 count.
And we do have the cheeseburgers and hamburgers, and I think she's for some roasted hot dogs. So when y'all get hungry, let us know.
when is that going?
And out at first.
You had the concession stand open, but I didn't see anything about hot dogs, hamburgers.
We have the hamburgers and hot dogs now. They just brought it down. We're wrapping them up right now.
Okay.
So we should be ready anytime now.
Okay, next time.
Hamburger with,
Do you want me to bring you some coffee up?
If you wouldn't mind, I don't want you to keep running up and down the stairs.
It's okay.
Yeah, black.
And
Well, I let the creamer and the sugar down every time. He has an extra spoon.
The-
He's also got some sweet and low. So I'll just bring you up a cup.
rolling with the 0-1.
Thank you.
if you got a hamburger ready, I would like one.
Plain?
Yes, a little mustard on it, no cheese.
He wants you to feed him too.
You want a plain with mustard?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring
The
you a plain and a couple
1 and 1.
Did I miss one?
Yes.
Another spoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now batting number
And
2, the right fielder,
Ground
Branson
to the
Bowley.
right. And Bowler faces the 1 and 2. Bowling with a .364 average, has been struck out 21 times, grounds it, shortstop, toss over, and the Tigers stay safe on first.
Error.
It's actually ruled a foul there, so
That's an error.
1 and 2.
Error on the shortstop.
Excuse me, they call it an error, and safe on first. So with 2 outs in the top of the fourth, the Tigers have a runner on first, and Jordan Heath steps up. We already talked about how Heath, he has elevated stat lines because he's only been up to bat. This is his 14th time. So he had a base hit earlier, just couldn't get safe. Is the 2 called foul for 1 and 1.
Hit my bat, hit my pitch.
Excuse me, hit by pitch there, and now runners on first and second for the Tigers.
Now batting number 19, the first baseman, Brandon Carrot.
Barrett for his second at bat of the game. 421 slugging. As runners on first and second to try and get some more runs here for the Tigers. Outside for 2-0. Even with the 2 runs through 3 2/3 innings, Wilder has allowed a lot of pop-ups and hits thus far.
Yeah, and that's one of his specialties is really just getting the people out. He's putting them where they can hit it. It's just that the batters, they get over anxious sometimes, and so they always end up popping out or hitting ground balls, which happens a lot frequently when you're actually putting them in the strike zone. They're not getting comfortable up it there. They're never knowing what to expect, so that's where the over anxiousness comes in. And when they see a pitch, just keep going in the strike zone. So they're trying to grip it and rip it every time, and they always end up going over on top of it.
So now a 2-1 here for Parrott. Leadoff's on first and second. Foul there to even it up. So this game going a lot faster than the other ones. Only an hour in. We're almost halfway through the game, and just about an hour and strikeout. So heading to the bottom of the 4th, halfway through, and the Tigers lead it 2-0. And right now, 2-0 the score. And the scoreboard being adjusted, they just gave 20 runs to the Bucks. Right now, 2-0 the official score. Deep shot to left center. Hits off the wall. A double coming up. And that's a double for Nathan Sanders. Make that Sanders' 9th double throughout the season. And when he could only get no hits, but managed to get 2 runs in yesterday's game, he finally was able to get something going. Now, Patrick Music steps back up. A runner on second for the Bucks as they try to get some score here. 1-0. Power standing strong on the mound. As Music tries to bring out his 473 slugging average here. Runner on second, potentially to give the Bucks their first run and keep their hopes alive. Winner of this game plays at 7:30. Have a date with either the Eagles or the Chargers. And hit by the pitch. Now runners on first and second. And you can quick visit to the mound. Quick visit to the mound for Coach Dennis.
Now batting number 8, the third baseman, Stephen Cullen.
Cullen with a 613 slugging average has 2 runners on base. He's responsible for 54 RBIs and 57 hits as the lead at-bat man for Motlow State. And you can start hearing the Motlow bench getting riled up. We hear the fans getting into it too.
Wow.
One 1-0 count for Cullen. And runners on first and second, swing and a miss. So for Cullen, where is it? Which hole are you wanting to get the ball towards to try and send your guys home?
Definitely towards the right side, right field line, and let it just travel all the way there. Just a strong line drive over on that way. You can easily score. You can easily score one, definitely. But if you want to go a little bit harder, then I say around the right center field wall. Just try and get it over there, and that'll definitely score 2. But it won't ensure it enough as it will if you go down the right side, right field line.
So the 1-2 count.
Like you said, time target to get it on the bed.
It's a fly to foul. You were right in your suspicion. He's trying to aim for the right. He's just not getting enough of it. Cullen faces the 1-2. Still no outs.
Delay your swing. If you hit it hard as you can. Instead of trying to hit.
And
If he keeps going along, it's on two strikes.
here's the 1-2. Low and the count even.
Check the swing.
Yeah. Never hurts.
You never know when the umpire.
Sees it a little different. He sees it from a different angle.
Yeah. He may see it go around.
He's even up for 2-2. Just waiting for the perfect pitch. Keeps getting contact with it.
Yeah, he's really looking to drive it down that right field line because he knows what he has to do, especially as a batter in this situation. He wants to get it down the right field line and make it to where at least one of them will score automatically.
It's low for the full count. Now you've got Store on deck, who has a higher slugging percentage with 624. The more home runs go to Cullen as it goes to the right, and it's fair. And everyone's safe on base. The second baseman couldn't get the catch. Fully loaded bases, and Store coming up. So now Store coming up with, as mentioned, a 624 slugging. He's got 10 home runs and 58 hits. Total of 49 RBIs, potential to increase that stat line here. And with 10 home runs, you still wonder when we're going to see our first grand slam of the playoffs, or if we'll even see one.
Excuse me, man. Grand slams are really rare, and any
hit to about
way
center field, and makes the diving catch, and Dag on first and second, toss in, and safe. Motlow gets their first run of the game. So now 2-1, the Tigers lead the Bucks.
Now batting number 7, the left fielder, Gunnar Ricketts.
So Ricketts up, but smart decision made by the third base coach to send him home. Ricketts with 40 RBIs and 11 doubles. Swing and a miss.
If he had to slide to catch it.
Yeah. Clean catch.
0-2.
Seems like we're moving much faster than we did last month.
We hours for 40 minutes last night.
Struck him out. 2 outs. It's been the loser's second round, bottom of the 4th right now. The Bucks managed to get 1 run. Matthews, the sophomore, with 1-0 count, has a 203 average. There's a 1-1. Matthews has been struck out 22 times on his 69 at-bats coming into this game. Be at-bat number 71. And strike 2. Runners on first and second here with 2 outs. Matthews with a hole to dig himself out of. And outside. Advance to second and third.
The runner on second was just messing with him right there, thinking that he was going to steal. No one was really holding him on, so. And pitcher was really just looking back there, more worried about the runner than he was about the batter. So that just ended up on pass ball.
Make that 3-2. Elect not to send the third baseman home. Full count now for Matthews. And
The guy at third base is Charles is distracting him, and he's having a problem.
no warm-ups in either bullpen at the moment. Power trying to close out the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 3-2 for Matthews. Struck him out. Heading to the top of the 5th, the Bucks shave the lead in half. 2-1 Tigers. Top of the 5th inning here at Dave Hall Field for the losers second round for the 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association baseball tournament. Spencer Thompson and Austin Ray bringing you every bit of the action here from Columbia State Community College in Columbia, Tennessee, one of 3 schools that can actually host this tournament, and Columbia State chosen this year. The other 2 schools eligible, the Volunteers State Pioneers and the Chattanooga State Tigers. Only 3 of them being hosted due to conference requirements for, I believe, locker rooms and such. And Motlow's coach having talk with the umpire.
The umpire, the catcher must have said something to the batter.
And
Said strike or swing or something, yeah. Because he said something to the umpire, and then the umpire said something to the catcher.
so what it looking like was there was some fodder between the umpire and catcher, potential distraction. Might be what you call a verbal catcher's interference.
Maybe he's looking back at his signals or something.
So now the count 0-1. One for make that 1-2.
I like to have 4 aces.
Chile has been struck out 36 times and walked 25 on his 168th at bat. And outside for the full count.
Where they were talking about that horse race, Churchill Downs, controversy over that, and they said some of the New Orleans fans, Saints, said that's not even as worse than the.
No, the call.
And a walk for Chile.
Look at him, look back at him.
Now batting number 15, the left fielder, Nick Blueball.
Bluebaugh hits the bunt up the third baseline fair. Safe on first and second. Actually ruled foul. 0-1. Looks like it bounced inside the third baseline a few times before it went out. Ruled 0-1. Bluebaugh 364 on his average. And advanced to second on a missed catch. Tigers in position again to score here. Lead cut down to 1. Grounder gets past the shortstop, can't dive for it, and they're going to send him home. He's going to try to get home there, but slipped up at third and safe at second. The Tigers in scoring position. But moved back to first, just counted as a single.
Second baseman, Ty
Delancey
Delancey.
with a 503 slugging, 58 hits and 9 doubles with Runners on second and third. And the 1-0. It's sent out of play. And for those of you wondering about the potential weather delays, looking like it's going to rain tomorrow. Only 2 games scheduled, which are the losers bracket final and the actual championship of the tournament. And a second championship game, if necessary, is originally scheduled for Friday. But pending all the rain that's set to come in this weekend, all the pouring rain is supposed to be tomorrow morning. So the 1 and 2 count. Pending the weather delays, it's scheduled for 1 o'clock and 4:30 tomorrow. And the final game, originally scheduled for Friday, is at 1 o'clock if necessary, since it is a double elimination bracket. So now even at 2 and 2. No games being delayed today, of course. All 4 set to occur. After this game, the Eagles of Dyersburg face off against the Chargers of Columbia State to determine who will face off here. There's send it to right field. It's off the wall. The outfielder can't make the catch, and there's run number 3. Make that run number 4. 4-1, Tigers. Just a great hit to deep right, and the Tigers now up 3 runs.
The shortstop, Noah Fitzgerald.
We've got 3 runs, so we
got just 1 hit. No, we got 2 hits.
2 hits this one. All right. 2 hits and 2 runs. 2 runs, so it's 4 to 2.
So now the Tigers with the runner on third, chance to get another run here. Still no outs in the top of the 5th. Strike 2. Strike 2 for Fitzgerald. 14 stolen bases, so potential for him to get up here and get something going, and struck him out, first out of the inning.
They really needed that one there, Spencer. Coming off of that 2-run hit, triple, really just needs to focus on getting the strikeouts now and producing the ground balls like he has been earlier within this whole tournament. So really just needs to get back into focus and have him make the easy outs.
And Holton with 34 RBIs coming into this game. A .597 slugging percentage, has the perfect chance to send his teammate home. Here's the 1-0. Even up as Holton. Holton in yesterday's game did not go up to bat. Not put into the batting order, so fresh from a day break. Faces a 2-1 with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Grounder gets past the pitcher, and second baseman can't make the catch. Run number 5 for the Tigers, safe on first.
Second baseman really almost had that. Almost made an amazing play with it. It would have been a spectacular play to see if he would have came up with it.
Now batting number 21, the third baseman, Bass Cooper.
Cooper with a 44 total of RBIs and a 560 slugging. Has got a runner on first, only 1 out here. Faces the 0-1 as the Bucks have a pitcher in the bullpen. It looks like it might be Foster warming up in the bullpen, as sent to the shortstop, makes the catch safe on first, second out.
Now batting number 10, the right fielder, Branson Bowling.
It's Branson Bowling coming up, and looks like the Bucks will be putting their ace in. Strike 1. Lead off on first. Grounder gets past and tossed to second. That'll end the top of the 5th. 5-1. The Tigers get 3 runs here, and the Bucks trying to respond. Bottom of the 5th, 5-1, and Power still on the mound. He's been strong to only allow 1 run through 4 innings. Now faces off against Von Durant. Gets a hit towards center field, and out number 1. Foster back up to bat. It looked like he was warming up in the bullpen for the Bucks earlier. And nobody needing to warm up at the moment for the Tigers, as Power has been strong, and his 4.05 ERA has definitely been lower thus far. A 2-0 count here for Power. And with Foster being the ace pitcher for the Bucks, he's only on appearance number 21, and still has an average of 474 and on base of 455. So he's got some decent stats through 20 at bats and not even struck out once.
Yeah, they really use him as a pitcher, and the best thing about a pitcher hitting is that he can always get into the mentality of another pitcher, kind of predict of what they're going to throw next, and they know how to look at the balls, and they can also tell where strike zone is going to be most effective, especially when they're hitting.
Next batting, number 1, the shortstop, Xavier Torres.
So now Xavier Torres, who had to have a relief hitter last night. Yesterday afternoon. Torres with 3 at bats and 1 run, left on base once. It's a swing and a miss there for 0-1. So just 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Safe on first. There's the 1-1. And Torres has been struck out 28 times, walked 14. It's a 292 slugging average with 3 doubles and 1 home run. And attempted steal of second, slides in. The catch not made. He's going for third. Safe, and ruled an error on the second baseman. Stolen base and an error for the Tigers. They have a runner on third. For the Bucks. Runner on third, chance to score. Tigers get the error. And sent to foul right, even count. Two and two.
Those guys over there, they're on the
Now full count.
Well,
5-1 lead for the Tigers in the bottom of the 5th. The Bucks trying to get another run here with a runner on third. 1 out as they walk Torres. Big chance to score here, especially with their next batter up, Sanders. Was instrumental in helping get that first run in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, right now they definitely don't want Motlow State coming back when they have a 5-1 lead at the moment. So he's going to do the best he can just to pitch inside the zone, let him hit a ground ball, and get an easy double play just to end the side.
Strike one. It's a win or go home situation here. Motlow has a decent travel back to their hometown Cleveland. The longer ride home if the score doesn't hold. And Sanders with the 0-1. It's a hit to left center. Out number 2. And a run back in for Motlow with the sacrifice fly, and 5-2 for the Bucks.
Now batting number 6, the second baseman, Patrick Music.
Music back up to the plate. Appearance number 149. It's 30 RBIs. With a runner on first. Tag first. Music against the Cougars had 4 at-bats with 2 runs and a hit. He's .473 slugging, and error by the first baseman, and advance to second. And they're going to send him to third with how far out. And another scoring chance for the Bucks. They don't have an out to give, so they can't do a sacrifice fly here. That's 2 errors for the Tigers. Two outs here with the 2-0 count. .30. Visit to the mound. That's visit number 2. Pretty sure the next one they will have to have a substitution, but nobody warming up for the Tigers at this point. Jordan Power still up. It's visit number 2. And a walk to first for Music. Runners on first and third now.
Now batting number 8, the third baseman, Stephen Cullen.
Cullen back up with a .613 slugging and 54 RBIs, 57 hits. Cullen can do some serious damage here.
Yeah, he really could. I mean, he has 13 home runs right now and an outstanding number of RBIs, 54. The .339 average definitely shows with him, and plus so does the .613 slugging percentage.
Leads the Bucks with 13 home runs. Maybe see home run number 6 of the playoffs. May get potentially a 3-run homer just like DeRiggi did last night.
That's
2-0.
Yeah, they got the same time uniforms, but that is Dyer's work. They're here to play us. They want to talk.
That's Coach Corey, he hasn't moved out there.
But it's still, we still got 3.5 years out there because his dad. Well, I mean, his dad. I mean, his dad.
They don't have shorts on.
And now that's
Which that people.
see who that is.
There's somebody coming up behind him, you know. I think it's nothing. Yeah. That's a gal coming in. That older lady.
Here's the 2-0.
I don't think that's Coach Corey either.
Cullen, the 613 slugging. Gets a piece of it there, but 2-1. Cullen facing the 2-1. Got runners on at first and third, trying to help the Bucks get back in it.
Well, there's still 3 ahead, so Earth
Gets some distance on it, headed back towards the wall, and it is gone! 6th home run of the playoffs, a 3-run homer for Cullen. Home run 14 of the season, and the Bucks tie it up.
He just attacked that ball right there, and his eyes lit up when he saw it, and he took all the advantage that he could for it, and I got that 3-run home run.
Just waited for the pitch, waited for the right time, and make that home run number 5 of the playoffs. Either 5 or 6, and tied up now 5 each with 2 outs.
That was just a great hit. I mean, up the middle, and he took it deep.
And 0-2 count for Store. Oh and 2. Grounder up the first baseline and tag out. A 3-run homer for Cullen ties up the score. The Tigers trying to respond in the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th.
Leading off for the Tigers, number 8, the catcher, Jordan Heath.
Jordan Heath. Wilder still on the mound. As a hit goes to left field.
He
And
got
he
it.
makes the diving catch. What an athletic play. Just outside of the camera view, but right at the foul line, slid down and caught it.
I like how the bullpen celebrated that too. The warm up and the pitcher that's warming up over there even saw it. He just was happy about it.
Now batting number 19, the first baseman.
Telling you, the Motlow Bucks have a very vocal bench. Now Parrott. Swing and a miss for Parrott. 421 slugging and 11 doubles. A 301 average. Gets a grounder right to the pitcher. And quick lob over, second out. Those are the kind of things as a coach you really like to see with 2 quick outs and putting the pressure on the batters to try and make a play.
Yeah, definitely, and it works better for pitchers and the fielders. Pitcher can rest up a little bit longer, and the hitters can go back out and do what they love doing. That's trying to get as much runs as they can.
Hitters for Motlow getting anxious with 2 outs here. Top of the 6th. That's a 2-0 count is faced for Chile, who's been walked 33 times. Here's the 2-0. Excuse me, it was a 3-0 on that and a walk. I'd like to thank our scorekeeper for the top-notch work on that one.
Now batting number 15, the left.
It's been a long day ahead of all of us. It's been a long last 3 days for the tournament for all of us. All of us here in the booth. And attempted steal of second, toss grounder, gets past the second baseman. And smart decision to stay at second. So the 1-0 count.
Yeah, I saw it kind of low, it seemed like, real low. So I counted it as a ball. Umpire's not showing it.
Here's the 1-0.
Man, that's 6 balls here.
It's a 2-0 count for Bluebaugh. Now has a runner on second with a potential scoring chance here if he can get it towards the wall. Bluebaugh with a 536 slugging has every ability to do that. Gets strike one there. Here's the 2-1. Foul out to even it up.
Oh, yeah.
outside for the full count.
And they kind of missed the sleep movie that talked about off-site tournament. So we're besides the three of us.
Yeah, well, they tried it a couple of times and it didn't work.
And a walk, runner now on first and second for the Tigers with 2 outs. And next up is
Now batting number 23, the second baseman, Ty Delancey.
Delancey with a .503 slugging. He's got runners on first and second, but a quick, looks like a mound visit for the Bucks. Potential pitching change coming up. Wilder has allowed 5 runs with a span of 5 innings. Shut him out for 3 in a row. And by the looks of it, Wilder is going to stay on the mound for a little bit. You think it's good to wait until the 7th inning to keep Wilder on there?
Yeah, just because really it's just one more out. So why not just go ahead and let him complete the inning? And you can always just bring him back, take him out in between innings and have the other pitcher come in. That way you don't also have to waste a mound visit for switching another pitcher.
So 1-0 for Delancey. Of course, Wilder coming into this game a .750 ERA, and he's allowed 4 home runs and 63 hits in the 48 innings that he's pitched. And the ERA will be racked up after this one. And that'll be
Pitcher may be running his mouth.
2-0.
Remember they had the problem. Remember the umpire had the problem. Plus, if you start throwing balls, any borderline is going to be foul ball.
3-0.
That's
3-0 with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. And strike 1. Fans not liking that one. (3-1) for Delancey. Gets a hit to left field, stays in fair, heading back out, and that's run number 6 for the Tigers. They take back the lead. How about run number 7? Four RBIs for Delancey thus far, so add that to RBI 57. And I wouldn't be surprised if doesn't look like Motlow's going to make the pitching change there. It's
I don't know. I think this is about the ball strike.
Motlow's coach Dan McShay just in a discussion with the umpire, I believe trying to plead his case on something. And now Delancey with a double. And 7-5 now. Doesn't that number sound familiar to you?
A lot of these numbers sound familiar to me just because we've been hearing them a lot. But really, it's more of the Motlow State and the Jackson State game that we've been seeing here right now. It's been close, and it's been really close, too close to call at times. So it just shows that Motlow can really put up and they can put up a win, but it just so happens that for some reason they're giving up while they're on defense, and that involves the other team from making better plays and actually scoring more runs.
Closest we've had to that score, 7-4 when the Green Jays beat Motlow State first round. There's a 9-5 score when the Pioneers won in the wild card against the Salokis. And 8-5 is a hit to right field, and going to send him home for run number 8. The exact score that Chat State had against the Chargers, and it's ruled safe. Safe on second. The Tigers lead at 8-5. And a double for Noah Fitzgerald, who lost his helmet on the slide.
Now batting number 9, the designated hitter, Jacob Holton.
Now DH Holton. So the Bucks still warming up their relief pitcher in the bullpen. Lead off on second. And grounder was foul. Holton with a 597 slugging. And he got 56 hits on 143 at-bats.
You got 6? I got 7.
8-5.
Two this, and we got 2 errors on him, right?
Why?
Had 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th.
But
I didn't report what they were. So we keep it 1 and 1, that's fine.
It's the 0-2 count. So the box score right now for the Tigers looks like 8 runs, 7 hits, and we one error as a pop up to left center. And that's going to end the top of the 6th. The Tigers come out swinging with 3 runs. They take back the lead. Bucks up to bat. Bottom of the 6th, Ricketts leads off for the Bucks, trying to respond to the 3-run inning by the Tigers. As Power stays on the mound. Power strong through 5 innings thus far. Only 5 runs combined. 5 innings. 8-7-2 for the box score on the Tigers as a grounder gets past the pitcher and toss attempt to first. He's safe. Base hit there.
If it was only about 3 inches taller, he would have had that.
Or if the timing on the ball was a little bit faster.
Now batting number
That
10,
too.
the catcher, Dalton Matthews.
Matthews up. Matthews with a 203 out of appearance 72. This is a 1-0.
It is 8-5, isn't it? It is, yeah. 8-5. Pitcher's trying to go away again. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
The Tigers have just had a great series of 2 innings, back-to-back 3-run innings. And the Bucks had a surge last in the bottom of the 5th with 4 runs to tie up the score. Tigers have responded very well. The 1-1. Make that 2-1. Pop up to right field. Catch made, tags first.
Now batting number 13, the designated hitter, Zach Wandera.
I have got 4 hits. 4. I do too. For Tigers? Yeah, no, for the Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah. Bucks, yeah, I do
Okay,
too.
I'm gonna move back one.
I've got 2, let's see. 1 in the 4th, or 2 in the 4th.
Strike
1
1.
in the 5th, and now 1 in the 6th. That gives me 4.
Bondurant with 8 hits on 52 at-bats.
So it should be 5, 4.
He's had
Yeah.
decent amount of struggles on his time at the plate. Trying to overcome that here, especially with yesterday. He, as the designated hitter, was at bat 3 times and got walked once, so couldn't get anything going.
Nah, he's really looking to make something going like that.
And it's a base hit to right field and safe on first and second, right on cue. So 1 out in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, they played a hand of that because he wanted to beat me to my words.
Foster.
Foster, the lefty. with a 5.79 slugging average and a 474. Got runners on first and second. And we've seen plenty of situations like this throughout the tournament where runners have been on first and second, and either on a wild pitch or the ball going in the dirt, it's usually been they advance to second and third, and about 75% of the time they get a score.
Yeah, and right now I'm pretty sure Motlow, they want to change that because they want to make it to where their hits are the ones that scores in, not a wild pitch, but they'll take a run over anything really. But they'll have a better chance to get more than one run if a batter hits the ball than it is on pass ball.
And speaking of a hit, there's one to right field. Catch, and both runners tag. So 2 outs.
Now batting number 1, the shortstop Xavier
Torres back up, the freshman shortstop. So with his 242 average, has got 29 hits and 29 runs. Torres with 1 home run on the season, trying to get something going. Grounder, right to the shortstop, toss to second, and that'll end the 6th inning. 8-5, no runs for the Bucks. Heading to the top of the 7th, the 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Region 7 baseball tournament will continue shortly. So a new pitcher to relieve Wilder is Jordan Burdett with a 3.82 ERA on 9 appearances with 1 complete game. And fell for 1-0 for Cooper. He's got 29 strikeouts and 8 walks with 2 home runs allowed. And Cooper with 2 home runs and 14 doubles on a 4.18 average. And not including Heath, he has the 2nd highest batting average of the team, just behind Fitzgerald. It's the 1-2. strike 3. Cooper struck out.
Now batting number 10, the right fielder, Branson Bowling.
Bowling steps up with his teammate being struck out. And foul there. Strike 2. And hit right past the pitcher. Toss over to first. Second out. Next up, Jordan Heath.
Catcher number 8, Jordan Heath.
And again, on just appearance number 12 coming into this game, his stats are high up, but with appearance number 15 in this game, those will probably be lowered just a bit. He's got a perfect slugging percentage and 750 average. There's the 1-1. So even count now at 2-2.
Oh, got another, losing wild thing.
And hit deep to center. And that'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Nobody on base for the Tigers. And we head to the 7th inning stretch, Mr. Austin.
For the Tigers, 0.
Yeah, so we got a lot of people actually today doing our shout-outs. One of the shout-outs is going to be from Brady Fitzgerald. Shout out to Barbara Fitzgerald. She never misses a game watching her grandson, Noah Fitzgerald. Johnny Els wants to give a shout-out to his dog, Diesel. He's listening to game through his AirPods while he chases a neighbor's chicken. He says, "Go Bucks." And shout out to Patrick Music. Been a great year for the kid, and that they love you. That was from M Music 64. And that's been all the shout outs that we have today. Thank you very much, guys. And you can always put a shout out on there. We'll be able to put it out there online for you every 7th inning stretch.
The 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament is sponsored by Sundrop Bottling, Fairfield by Marriott, Lister Hill Credit Union, Alpha Graphics of Franklin, and Hampton by Hilton. Sanders leads off for the top of the 7th. A lovely day here at Columbia State Community College's Dave Hall Field in Columbia, Tennessee. Spencer Tomset and Austin Ray bringing you the action here as grounder goes second and first out. Bringing you every action. This is the third and final 4-game day for the tournament. Tomorrow is scheduled to be 2 games, but with the 100% chance of rain and thunderstorms, likely they will delay it. Tournament has to conclude by Sunday, otherwise Walter State will by default be named the champions of the tournament by their regular season record. Hopefully we'll be able to see the rest of the tournament out. Still amazing to me how weather can change so quickly with the beautiful sun we've had over the last few days, and the rain is supposed to come in the morning. Yep. And a 1-0 count here for Sanders. Excuse me, not Sanders. That was an out there for him. It is Patrick Music facing a 2-0. So 3-0 now for Music. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th as the Bucks are down by 3 and trying to get something going. 3-1. And of course it's a long shot, but if the Bucks were to get 13 runs here in 1 inning, then the game would be over by the 10-run rule. I wonder when the last time was we saw when anybody at any level saw a 13-run inning for baseball.
Sure hasn't been in a while for sure. I do know that.
I do know there was a recent game for the Nationals a few months ago where they were down, I think, by 18 and brought it down to extra innings and won by, I want to say a score of maybe 20-19, something like that, where they were down by a huge amount and came all the way back. It'd be interesting to see if we had any games like those here in the tournament, but with the way that both of our voices have been shot at this point, I don't think any of the viewers would have us unmuted for it.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have some viewers already muting the streams with raspiness.
We just watch the play. We don't want to hear
'em. And one of our own shout-outs to the guy who said the second color commentator to stop talking earlier.
Sorry, man.
I'm not sure who you mean. Yeah, not sure who you mean by second guy. You think he said maybe color commentator, but you know, just doing our best.
We wish we had more commentators, but we don't. So sorry.
1-0. We're gonna have to stock up on some honey tea in between these games. Some hot honey tea to soothe the voice.
it.
2-0. Somebody trying to give advice to me that carbonation will soothe the vocal cords, but I've never heard of carbonation ever soothing it. Maybe the aged vanilla maybe an aged vanilla in there for A&W would help. And even though we're past the 7th inning, we'll say that Ms. Caroline Saris, who wanted to give a shout-out to the Big Buckers, saying the Bucks are greater than the Tigers, as there's a mound visit for Chattanooga State's coach, Greg Dennis. And they have Moylan on the mound, who is a .498 ERA with 26 strikeouts and 13 walks, with 13 times he's appeared on the mound throughout the season and the playoffs. 2-0 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Three 0. Loser of this game heads home. Winner faces off either against the Chargers or the Eagles. The Eagles having a heartbreaking loss last night against the Green Jays. Went later than our first late night game by about 20 minutes. And the Senators will collide at 4:30 with the winner, the Jackson State Green Jays, and a walk for Stephen Cullen. So Music and Cullen on second and first.
Now batting number 21, the first baseman,
Next up,
Storm.
Store, who with his .624 slugging, he's got a runner on first and second to try and get the Bucks back into it. Cullen with the 3-run homer earlier on first, and we'll maybe see a home run from his teammate Store. 3-run homer would tie it up, and we'd probably hear way more chatter from the Bucks bullpen as well as the Bucks dugout. They got some people over there in the bullpen, but no pitcher warming up. Got some fans overexcited about that first ball there. Who says baseball isn't exciting?
Sadly, a lot of people.
Well, those people haven't been to this tournament, or they haven't viewed it. Here's the 1-0. And going out of play. Goes over the bleachers for the even count. One and two. Foul without the mesh there would have a trajectory towards us.
And I will try to catch it.
You didn't bring your glove.
Hey, we've already seen a couple barehanded plays out here. If they could do it, I could at least give it a try.
Yeah, you can give it a try at least. How long has it been since you've actually played baseball?
Played or thrown? Because there's a big difference in played. So here now about 2 years ago.
Pop up and can't make the catch.
My senior year of high school.
Moylan was trying to get the catch there for the foul and did not get it. And now you're a college graduate too, so it's been about 2 years now?
Yep, exactly.
2 years since you played, but the last time you threw a baseball, I'm sure was really, really recent.
Yeah, it was really recent. It was last Saturday, but before that, I never threw a baseball in about a year and a half.
Arm sore at all?
Nope. No, actually, it's muscle memory to me now, so it doesn't get that sore.
It's now muscle memory. I wish vocal cords had muscle memory. Deep to right field.
Trust me,
And the right fielder can't get it. The Bucks are within 2 runs for the double. So the right fielder couldn't get it picked up. There's no error. Runners on second and third now for Ricketts. They 531 slugging. Runners on second and third with only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. And another hit to deep center going towards the wall on the way. Catch made for the second out and make that run number 7 for the Bucks safe on third. Oh, that a sacrifice hit. And now 8-7. The Bucks are within 1. It's moments like this, you wonder what specifically happened for the teams to be in an elimination situation like this.
Yeah, really, for both of these teams, their mindset is going to be on making sure that the other teams don't get as many runs as you want them to. Of course, they're going to score a couple here and there. Those are no big deal. Some of those you just can't help, and some of those it just you can. And the errors is what's really going to cause the game to determine whether or not if you win or lose. So the big thing is about it is that you just stay focused, make the routine plays, and make the line drive hits so you can get your batters around.
Pitching change coming up for the Tigers. Zach Mann steps up to the mound to potentially be the closer. They 4.24 ERA, 49 strikeouts, and 21 walks. 34 innings pitched and 14 appearances. Faces off against Motlow State's Tothan Matthews. They 261 slugging. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss for 1-1. Strike 2. So the Bucks are within 1 run of tying it up. They've got a runner on third. Base hit here would send him home. And struck out. Heading to the top of the 8th, the Bucks respond with 2 runs. They're within run. The Tigers are up to bat. Top of the 8th, 8-7. The Tigers have Parrott up on the plate, trying to increase the score and send the Bucks home to Motlow. A 2-0 count.
This umpire can squeeze both pitchers. It's not unfair. He just gets strike zone. It's tight.
2-1.
That's where you get a lot of walks.
Even count. And foul as Parrott faces his potential 24th strikeout. And deep to right
Fair.
is fair. He's going to head in for the double, bounces off of the wall. And again, that right fielder for the Bucks has a cannon for an arm, but safe on second for Brandon Parrott. That's his 12th double.
Yeah, really, the right field's getting worked on a lot today. They keep on pushing the balls and pulling the balls over towards the right field side, and he's getting the workout of his life so far.
Now Sean Cheely with 440 slugging. And Parrott tags second.
I don't think he's pitched to him yet.
No, I mean, Shea,
1-0.
how many hits you got for
I've got 8 hits, 7 hits, and 8 runs, 7 hits, and 2 for the Tigers, 7, 6, and 1 for the Blue Riders.
is everything right up there?
Yep, I agree with you.
And
I don't know if he pitched to it. I'm just,
He balled. That's Jimmy.
okay.
excuse me, so it's ruled a balk and an advance to third. So now Cheely in. Cheely with a chance to send Parrott home. So he faces a 1-0.
We'll give him the last game tonight.
Okay, well, that's not it.
Grounder gets past the shortstop, make that run number 9 for the Tigers. Safe on first. And the Tigers giving themselves more cushion to try and send the Bucks home and to move on to the semifinal of the losers bracket. One zero. It's now a 3-0 for Chattanooga State's Nick Blubaugh. And faces strike one. And Blue Ball in yesterday's game against the Senators, he tried all he could with 3 at-bats. He got a run and a hit. So forced to walk 3 times. And Blue Ball here has just been one of the skilled hitters for the Tigers. And the count is 3-2. Outside, they walk him. Make that walk number 38. And now runners on first and second for the Tigers. No outs yet in the
23, the second
top of the 8th.
baseman, Ty Delancey.
Again, just that same parent getting enthusiastic about the first ball. As Ty Delancey, the 503 slugging, has a runner now on first and third. Chance for the Tigers to go up by 3. 2-0. And hit over the second baseman, make that run number 10 for the Tigers. Safe on first and third. (10-7) now in the top of the 8th, and the Bucks are struggling on the mound to try and get something going.
Yeah, hopefully they find something here soon, especially when they got a new pitcher coming in right now. So hopefully he can deal a lot better than what the pitcher has been doing. So we'll just have to find out whenever we come back.
Coleman Fleming steps up onto the mound with a 4.24 ERA, and out of 9 appearances, the freshman has struck out 15 and walked 10, allowed 1 home run with no outs and a runner on first and third. Fleming is going to try to close it out for the Bucks, or at least prevent the Tigers from getting any more runs. They've already gotten 2 thus far. Outside for the 1-0, an attempted steal of second. Caught between bases. Fake toss and waiting for the ruling. Out.
Got him.
So the first out of the inning and a runner on third. So the 1-0 count. Evened up. One. Grounder. Gets past the third baseman. How about run number 11 for Chattanooga State? And now a 4-run lead for the Tigers here in the top of the 8th. That's Holton, the 4.03 average freshman outfielder. Gets a piece of that for 0-1. And deep hit to left field. Fair goes towards the wall. They're going to send him home for attempted run number 12. Not the same cannon as the right fielder. And run number 12 for the Tigers.
Yeah, there's no way of him getting that ball even close to home. So he just had to hold him there a second, make sure he got it in quick.
Double number 17 for Holton. And only 1 out in the top of the 8th as the Tigers keep the runs coming.
Now batting number 21, the third baseman, Bass Cooper.
Here comes Bass Cooper with a 560 slugging. The right-handed freshman tries to get something going. 2 runs since he's come up to the mound. And a foul for the 0-1. Baseball, it's amazing how many different directions a foul ball can go. You just have no idea where it's going to come from or any of the deflections on it. Just baseball can go virtually anywhere.
Definitely not, because I've had a few foul balls where I felt like I hit one way and went the completely opposite direction. I was just kind of mesmerized, and plus it's kind of funny. You would think that you hit it on the ground just because of the way you feel it, but then next thing you know is in the air, and you just don't know how that happens. So it's really hard to square up a ball, and when you're swinging hard and fast, you can get a little bit of a feel, but not all that feel is the same when you're fouling one off.
Think the baseball can't hit that American flag on top of the flagpole? Think again. Think it can't hit one of the spotlights? Think again. 0-2 with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Struck him out. And Can't make the catch on second. Advances to third. Slide in. They rule that an error on the second baseman, but 2 outs in the top of the 8th, and scoring potential here for the Tigers as they bring up Branson Bowling.
Now batting number 10, the right
And another pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the Bucks. We'll have to see if that depth gets any better.
Yeah, definitely. And especially when they're already down by 5, they want to make it to where they can at least try and catch up here in the next 2 innings.
Down by 5. And it's likely the game will go to full 9 innings. Unless the Bucks can make a miracle comeback, or if the Tigers somehow get 5 runs within the remainder of this inning, or they get 5 runs and hold the Bucks to 0, the game over in 8. And with the pitches that have been thrown by Fleming thus far, Tigers are hopeful of that. And base hit to the wall, run number 13, safe on first. And here comes Jordan Heath. Again, I'd like to see his calculated averages for this game, because coming into the game with a 750 average, I'd like to see what his stats have been for this morning.
Yeah, he's had good contact with the ball too. I remember yesterday what it was is that he made good contact, and it just so happens that it was a full line drive right to the center fielder. So it could show that he can really make great contact, and he's going to try everything he can to get on base.
Grounder gets past the shortstop, just didn't get the reaction in time. Hits off of his glove there, and first and second base have runners. Parrott up to bat. The shortstop just was not expecting it to deflect his way. Didn't have the preparations. Good thing it didn't get past him.
Nah, and it looked like that the ball had certain spin on it to where when it hit the ground, it just took a sharp left turn, and he had to adjust real quick.
13-7 right now. The Tigers is trying to keep the run amount going up. It is 2-0. For those of you looking for the starting pitch for the Chargers and the Eagles, it's scheduled for 1 o'clock, but as we've seen throughout the tournament, the starting pitch for the games had about maybe 1 or 2 of the games have started on time. So about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game, and a walk for Parrott and a visit to the mound by Motlow. Looks like they're gonna change another pitcher here. That's, I believe, the 3rd pitcher in the top of the 8th. Chase Dixon steps up to the mound for the Bucks. He's got a 2.65 ERA with essentially, you narrow it down here. It's for every 4 strikeouts, he walks 1 batter and a grounder right back to the pitcher. And that'll end the inning. Top of the 8th, over with 2 left on. 13-7, the Bucks going to try to respond in the bottom of the 8th. Zach Mann steps back up to the mound after being the starting pitcher for the Tigers, and Von Durant leading off to start the bottom of the 8th as the Bucks are trying to make it back here. And the winner of this game moves on in the loser's bracket. The loser will head home. Will the Tigers hold the lead and send Motlow about an hour and a half away back home? Or will the Tigers take the ultimate loss in an ultimate comeback and take the 3-hour drive home? Even count.
No, it's, the runs are 13 now. I've got that right, yeah. Yeah, we've got
1-2.
our 13.
So Von Durant has been struck out 7 times. 52 appearances coming in. He's had a 154 average, so he's had his struggles throughout the season. Faces a 1-2.
Yeah, he's had his struggles, but all these players are looking to improve, especially during this tournament. So hopefully that both of these teams any players that are struggling will do better within this game right here and show it off.
And takes the hit by pitch, advance to first.
Now batting number 5, the right fielder, Kobe Foster.
Foster with a 474 average, has a 579 slugging. He's got a runner on first. Strike 1. And it's to right field for the foul. 0-2.
If all the games go like that, it'll be 30 minutes, an hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, so we would start the last game 3 hours after we should be starting.
You know the thing you said to me about not jinxing it with extra innings? Thank you.
Oh, you know, this inning is so critical because when you get to the ninth inning, you take away some things. You only got 3 outs. Bunting, stealing, things like that. Not available, basically.
Say pop up and 5 outs left on the Bucks season. As Foster could not get anything going on that one.
Now batting number 1.
Here's
the
Torres.
shortstop, Xavier Torres.
And this is essentially the last inning that the Bucks can try and be risky with getting some steals as they have a leadoff on first. It's always more risky with anything occurring in the ninth. And 1-0.
Yeah, when he hits so quick that I forgot to put the hits in.
Bottom of the 8th as the Tigers are trying to pull an upset as they are the lower seed. And the Bucks upset by the Green Jays on Monday night. Both teams, of course, facing an elimination scenario. Trying to stay alive in this double elimination tournament in the loser's second round. 2-1.
I don't think we can hit run rule Dyersburg, so I hope that is the game.
Even count.
Man, when you start yawning the first game, you got 3 more left.
Torres has been struck out 28 times. And
Today.
he's got 1 strikeout on the day. Trying not to make it 2. Runner on first. Gets a deep hit to center field. Not deep enough. Second out. 4 outs left on the Bucks season as they're trying to make the deficit go away with some runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Facing 2 outs as Sanders comes up. Sanders assisted with a few runs earlier on. Had some base hits to send some people home. And attempted steal of second and not in time. Shortstop distant from the bag when he made the catch. 0-1. So now the Bucks with a runner on second. Foul for 1 and 2. Two outs in the bottom of the 8th. Sanders. Even count. Outside, full count. And a hit to right field. The catch not made, and another run for the Bucks and a double. Error on the right fielder, and the Bucks now have a score of 8 runs. It's within 5. And now Patrick Music steps up with 473 slugging and 16 doubles with a runner on second. Scored a run earlier and
Now batting number 6, the second baseman.
might be instrumental to start a Bucks comeback. Faces 2 outs. Zach Mann with his 4.24 ERA pitches strike 1. Musique with 27 times he's been struck out and 30 RBIs, looking to potentially get number 31 here. Swing and a miss for 0-2. One, two. Two and two. So the Bucks with a runner on second face the 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And the Bucks 4 outs left on their season. And there's a pop fly. And make that 3 more outs on the Bucks season. We head to the top of the 9th. 13-8, the Tigers lead, looking to move on. The 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament is sponsored by Hampton by Hilton, Alpha Graphics of Franklin, Sundrop Bottling, Fairfield by Marriott, and Lister Hill Credit Union. Top of the ninth inning, the Bucks need 5 runs, but they need to prevent the Tigers from getting any more here.
The left fielder, Nick Blueball.
As Bluebaugh steps up. And the Tigers face off against Motlow's Chase Dixon, who had to relieve Burdett in the last inning, who allowed several on base situations. Two runs allowed in the 7th and 1 run allowed in the 8th. They had to relieve Burdett and reading the wrong score here. 5 runs allowed total. They had 3 different pitchers in the top of the 8th. 2 runs allowed. They had Burdett come in for the relief and allowed 3 runs. And Dixon closed it out, trying to be the closer here. Count now 2 even. Top of the 9th, 13-8. Grounder, second baseman, first out. So now for the Tigers, Ty Delancey.
Now batting number
503 slugging with a 356 average.
Delancey.
And gets a hit to left field, shortstop chasing it, second out. So the Bucks shutting down the Tigers this inning with one more at bat. That's Noah Fitzgerald with the best batting average of the team and best slugging percentage of the team by far.
Yeah, he can really drive the ball, and he's really good on getting on base, too. He's got the 514 on base percentage right now, so he's always going to try and find a way to get on base, whether it's a base hit or a knock or even try to bunt his way on base.
Even a bunt there and quick toss to first. He is safe. It's a nice bunt by Fitzgerald to get on first, and teammate Bass Cooper steps up to the plate. A 560 slugging and 418 average coming into this game with 44 RBIs and 14 doubles. Ball 1. Tigers 3 outs away from moving on. 1 out left for them to increase their lead. And grounder to the second baseman and can't get the catch. Safe on first and second. An error called to the second baseman. That's unfortunately been the story of the game for the Bucks, with having 3 errors throughout the day and allowing 5 runs in the top of the 8th. And just it's been everything has gone wrong for Motlow State today. As Cooper is up to bat with a runner on first and second. Faces 2 outs. Gets a grounder foul. One and 1 count. Dixon trying to close it out. Strike 2. Grounder foul. And the Bucks dugout has been silenced for most of the game. Usually they've been one of the most chatty ones, but they do have a pitcher in the bullpen. Not sure if they're going to bring him in. Not exactly warming up as a deep hit goes to left.
And caught it.
The diving catch, he gets it. And one left on. The Bucks are 5 runs down, 2 outs away on their season. Stephen Cullen leads off to start the top of the 9th as the Bucks have to try and overcome a 5-run deficit. It's going to be an uphill battle for Motlow State if they want to keep their hopes alive in the tournament. And strike one. The Tigers' game plan here, obviously, they would rather get 3 strikeouts than give a risk of any hits.
Yeah, I mean, they want to avoid any contact with the bat if they can, but then again, sometimes the better pitchers always look for the contact, and they end up actually striking out people. So it's just really how this pitcher plays out.
1-1 for Cullen. Hit to left for foul.
That would have been gone.
Would have been gone if it had stayed in the line. 1-2. The wind blowing towards left field at the moment. See the flag rotation there. Just a light breeze over Dave Hall Field as the Bucks trying not to get sent home. Of course, Chattanooga State, they have this game now, and if they end up winning here, they have to play at 7:30 tonight. As it's hit deep to left field, going towards the wall, and gone.
He really wanted it.
That's 2 home runs. 2 home runs today for Stephen Cullen, a single there, and 13-9.
Yeah, he really wanted that home run. He hit one over just foul territory and came back on almost the next pitch, same place, and he did not miss that.
You look over towards the Bucks. They're holding up the antlers of a deceased mascot,
Number 7 on the first baseman,
13-9, and Storr steps up. Likely the time that the Bucks bench is going to get fired up. Start cheering here to hope to get back in this one. Low for 1-0. And for Zach Mann, that's home run number, I believe number 3 allowed. Don't believe he was on the mound with that 3-run homer earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's not a person to really give up that many home runs, but he could definitely do his part into it, just like we just saw right there. He's a real consistent pitcher of making it into the strike zone and making the ball break outside when he needs it to. So it just kind of hurts him a little more that he threw one down the middle and he just got a hold of it.
About 3 hours and 35 minutes on the game time thus far. Strike one for the 3-1 count. As Ricketts faces a 3-1. Swing and a miss for the full. Full count. Hits it right for foul and almost hit the roof.
Always.
That went over, almost may have hit somebody in hospitality, but
Well,
Clear
let's
over.
not hope for that.
looked like it was a trajectory over one of the cars parked over in the grass, and low for a walk. So Ricketts to first base. Now
now batting number 7, the left fielder, Gunnar Ricketts.
Ricketts now up to bat. The runner on first, a quick visit to the mound. There's going to be a new picture here for Tigers.
Slight pitching change for the Chattanooga State Tigers. Number 31, Noah Fitzgerald, coming from shortstop, now pitching, has an ERA of a 1.62, and has not given up one home run yet. 14 hits hit off of him off of 11.1 innings.
Mark that the first time that I've ever had to leave the press box during a game. That's how long we've been going for this one, just over 3.5 hours. 0-1 count. The 1-1. Two one. As Ricketts faces off against Fitzgerald. I'm sure as my partner already expressed, a 1.62 ERA. He's only had to be on the He's appeared on the mound 13 times, but only pitched for 11 innings. Three one. Three one. 0 outs with 3 left on the Bucs season. Gets it foul for full count. Looked like it had the ability to just hop along the first baseline. It's the full count for Ricketts. And he gets a pop-up that goes foul. These are the type of situations that you always are coached for, not just in playoff situations, but in the regular season. I'm sure you can attest that as a player that the coaches are always teaching you about these types of situations.
Yeah, really, it's just the fact that they need to get the line drives going, like I've been saying a lot and throughout this whole tournament. Basis is what's really going to win it. And the pitching staff has been doing great for both teams. And they've given up home runs here and there. But really their pitch control and trying to keep their pitch count lowered is helping them out. But really what we've been seeing a lot here and there is actually the amount of errors that defense have been giving away. So the errors is really just what's killing them more and more. And so that's really just something to work on, especially for the next season when these colleges go back and they start practicing in spring training and everything to do with the fundamentals of baseball. That's what they can go back to and just trying to work on more and more and become better ball players, and especially in situations like this.
Full count for Fitzgerald. Ricketts trying to get something going. 3-2, grounder. Out on second. Not enough time to try the double play. 2 more outs for the Bucs to give. So safe on first.
Now batting number,
And Matthews steps up.
now batting number 10, the catcher.
And again, Matthews in his game against Cleveland State Cougars 4 times they've been at bat, and he managed to get 1 hit, but struck out twice, and he's gotten a little bit over the hump today. Strike 1. And again, for those of you looking for the Chargers and Eagles game, set to have first pitch at 1 o'clock, but this has been an intense one all throughout. 1-1. So about 30 minutes after the conclusion here, we will have the Chargers and Eagles face off. Winner of this game will face the winner of the next game in the semifinal for the losers bracket at 7:30. So 2 games in 1 day for both teams, and bounces above the dugout for 1-2. And of course, the teams are used to situations like that, where most of the time in this league with junior colleges, they have double headers. So a little bit of separation between the games, it won't make a huge difference, but at least the only thing for both teams is that the 7:30 starting pitch for that late game is not looking like it's going to happen directly. So potentially a later game into the night. So at least early on fatigue for whoever comes out of this one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just going to come down to who has more heart on the last game. And whoever faces off in that final game tonight is just really going to have it in for themselves, just because they're coming off of a game and it's back-to-back games for one of the teams too. So it's just something to really look out for.
So even count at 2-2. The Tigers have allowed a runner to go to first, and only 1 out back at second base. Here's Matthews, another foul. He's trying to find the pitch. We've seen situations like this plenty. You see it in any level, but we've especially seen it here in this tournament where been several situations, either the 2-2 even count or the full count with many different fouls until the perfect pitch lays down for an amazing play. And that one's going foul. And they could have easily gone to the catch there, but didn't attempt. And the runner advanced to second, even though it was a foul. So they called it it was called a ball, or excuse me, balk. So they called it a balk on that. That's why he advanced to second. And grounder, third baseman. Toss over to first. 1 out left on Motlow's season. Safe on second. So the Bucks on their last life, and they have all their faith right now in Zach Bondurant, who is who has the lowest batting average of the team and one of the lowest slugging percentages. He's been struck out 7 times, but of course the numbers not mattering now for the Bucks, just trying to keep themselves alive with a man on second. Swing and a miss, strike 1. What do they coach you with in this situation?
Really, what they need the coaches need to do is just for Chattanooga State, find a way to pitch around him. Really try to go for outside pitches, something that he can really make a ground ball with. For Motlow State, really wait for the pitch to come to you, and then look at it all the way through and just put that barrel out there and make it for a line drive and get a couple of runs in so they can at least still stay in it.
And the Tigers, who lost 17-9 against the Senators, and Motlow State, who got upset by the Green Jays 7-4, and then beat out the Tigers, who got upset by the Eagles 3-2. The Bucks won against the Tigers yesterday 10-9 and advanced to third. So chance for the Bucks to get another run in for a balk. 1-2 count left. 1-2 count here, and Bondurant faces off against the starting pitcher and the closer, Man, with 49 strikeouts. I believe a few earlier today. And the Tigers are on the verge of being the first team to get into the losers semifinal. About to potentially send the Bucks home. There's another foul for 1-2. And we are 10 minutes short of 4 hours on game time. So looking like we're going to have about a 2:15 first pitch for the Chargers-Eagles game. Even count. And great job to our statistician in the booth telling us that this is the 10th time that the count has been 2-2 with 2 outs throughout the game. The 10th time, or excuse me, 9th. So 9th time that it's been 2-2 with 2 outs throughout the game. And gets a foul there.
We were doing anything to stay awake.
Another statistics, 70-some-year-old held out bladder-wise, young kid. Could really last all game 4 hours.
You would have really been, we'd have really been trouble if you had to go.
Yeah.
That's true, I think that operated.
Here's the 2-2 Bondurant, the last hope for the Bucks season. Gets a hit to right field, and the Tigers are moving on. The Bucks are headed home. 13-9 the final score, and 3 hours 51 minutes later, the Tigers are moving on to the semifinal. They'll face off either against the Dyersburg State Eagles or the Columbia State Chargers tonight at 7:30. That second game is coming up in just a moment. You're watching the 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament. We'll be back for the Chargers and the Eagles at about 2:15 for first pitch.
During this intermission, you can visit your